From the statistics, parents aren't telling their kids. These are life skills, which schools are supposed to teach.
If you don't like it, go get your GED. Make a choice.
If I don't like it, I'm trying to
LIC.
change it.
Shelby.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you today?
Good.
Good, good. So when you think back about yourself when you were 15 years old, how do you feel about the stance that you took?
I feel the same way as I did then. Young people have a right to information about their sexuality. They have the right to the information to protect themselves. And so it wasn't about being a little girl or about being 15. It was about standing up for our right to have the information to prevent sexually transmitted infections and unintended pregnancies.
If a student asks a teacher about sex, the teacher by policy is required to answer with abstinence is the only way to prevent STDs and teen pregnancy.
Has your stance changed in any way between then and now?
Absolutely not, except then I was talking to mostly my high school friends, and then when I got to college, I realized that college-age young people often don't have the information either. There's a lot of myths out there, a lot of misperceptions, a lot of confusion about how to protect yourselves, and so now I talk to mostly college young women about how to stay safe.
Well, you did this film. How did that come about? Was that your idea or the women that made the film?
Well, they knew that abstinence only until marriage was something that was getting a lot of government funding, but was dubiously ineffective. And so they wanted to make a film on that. And I was in Lubbock, Texas. I was 15 years old. I'd taken a virginity pledge. I think I gave the worst quote ever to the Washington Post, and it ended up like in one of those pull quotes. I said, "There's nothing to do in Lubbock but have sex," says 15-year-old virginity pledger Shelby Knox. So they saw that and they were like, "Oh, she's interesting. We're going to Lubbock."
So how would you describe your path?
When I was younger, I became a certified sexual health educator, and now I design curriculums for young people about safer sex on college campuses, which I think is actually what we were going to talk about, because I design tips for young women to sort of conduct themselves safely and responsibly and have fun at the same time. When I started talking on college campuses, one of the first things I noticed is that young people are really confused about contraception. They're not sure actually how to prevent pregnancy or sexually transmitted infections. So one of the tips is that you have to have a plan A. So know how to use condoms, know where to get them. If you're in college, you can probably get them for free at your college health center. The same goes for birth control. You can go, you can talk to a doctor, they can tell you what might be best for you. Safe sex is what we want. We know from the soaring statistics across the country, I know from personal experience when I talk to young people, it's not always the reality. So you have to have a plan B to prevent unintended pregnancy. And I found that a lot of young people don't know these basic things, these basic information about how to protect themselves sexually. So that's what I'm trying to do.
Have you come up with any more, have you expanded your interests?
Well, I expanded just a little further, and now I work on women's rights in general. I've done campaigns on equal pay and getting women's history back into the schools and teaching young people during Women's History Month. So I've broadened a little bit into sort of the feminist spectrum.
And do you have any particular advice for ladies of all ages for Valentine's Day?
Send yourself flowers. It's not that big of a deal. This is a Hallmark holiday, and you should focus on loving yourself. In fact, every year for Valentine's Day, I sort of lock myself in my room and take a bubble bath and eat as many chocolates as I want. So love yourself on Valentine's Day.
Oh, okay, so we're kind of running out of time, so do you have anything that you want our audience to know?
When I talk about sexual health, I never want women to walk around feeling like they have a target on their back. That's not what this is. This is about being empowered, having a plan so you can keep yourself safe, but have as much fun as you want.